Hey, what's going on, guys? Callback here. Recently I got yet another on-demand web scraping tutorial request from one of my subscribers asking me to help him or her, I'm not sure regarding the gender of the subscriber, to help actually how to scrape the infinite scroll page within this reddit.com subreddit gold. So the very first thing to consider, we need to invoke our developer tools. So then go into the network tab and then use this subreddit name as the filler, and then if we just scroll down here, we see like the API calls are occurring here, and if we have a look at the data set, we got three important things. So the token, dist, and this data would be used to obtain the next portion of data, just to bear in mind, and also the posts list of dictionaries, where we got the permalink link that we would be using in order to crawl through every single post URL later on. So let me just try to scroll even more here, and here we got another request. So now we see like here within this request we got that if we have a look at the URL, we get this after equals this value and the dist equals to 7. So where is this taken from? So it's taken from here. So we just preview the data again. So here is the token and the dist. So this is the exact logic we need to mimic within our own scraper now in order to actually get this work. So if you're interested, buckle up when we begin. So the very first thing to consider is to import some packages. Okay, so we need to import SCRAPY, and then from scrapy.crawler I want to import the crawler process. Okay, and then from urllib.parse I want to import URL encode to distinguish between the base URL and the string parameters to be encoded later on. And also we need to import JSON. I know probably I would need to import CSV as well, but just to store the data, but I'm not sure. Well, let's drop that for a while. So now we need to define the scraper class basically. So let's call this class Reddit, and it would inherit from the scrapy.spider, which is the general purpose SCRAPY crawler basically. Now let's give the name of our to our scrapers. Scraper name would be equal to, let's call this Reddit scraper. Okay, and yeah, before providing the base URL and all this stuff, first I just want to provide the main drivers. So the main driver would be equal to if name equals to main. In this case, we want actually to run our scraper, and I'm creating the process variable that would be the instance of the crawler process. This I can then say process.crawl, and I'm using my Reddit spider class that I've just created as an argument, and finally say process.start in order to invoke the crawler. And now let me just open the terminal in the current working directory, and I just want to check if this works. So Python 3 and reddit.py. Hope. Okay, so the spider works perfect. So now let's specify our base URL and the string query parameters. String query parameters based. Okay, so it takes a bit of a time, but what I'm supposed to be doing now is quite pretty important. So let's grab the entire URL. So just copy this and create the base URL variable and paste all this stuff in. And now everything that starts from this question mark and up to the end, we just cut this. And here I create the params variable. This would be the type of Python dictionary. And now I need to convert these parameters to some sort of parse format. I could have used actually I could have used a Python interpreter for this purpose. Let me just try to do this quickly, maybe just to save some time. So let's create the string containing this parameters, and now we need to split this string by this and symbol. Okay, and now let's use the list comprehension. So for a parameter in this one, so we want to create a dictionary where parameter dot split by equal sign, and the very first element would be the key, and param dot split, and the very last element would be a value. But we also need to make it a one dictionary instead. So let's create this params dictionary here, and I'm not sure how exactly this is done. Probably params dot update. I'm not sure, guys, so I hope this is gonna work actually. Okay, sorry, just let me check the documentation quickly. Sorry guys, it wasn't actually what I thought. I just made a typo here. So the update method works exactly this way, and let's actually try to print our parameters. Okay, and I just want to import JSON to print this parameters, like saying JSON dumps and parameters and indentation equals to spaces. Okay, so now I can grab this sort of a thing here and copy, and instead of all of this stuff we can simply just paste it in. Okay. Now we need to make sure that so allow over 18. I'm just wondering, is this really empty one? Yeah, this is. So this should be just fine here. Okay, and now let's provide the crawler's entry point. And there is the method called dev start requests. It takes only the self instance, and this is the exact point where the SCRAPY spider we're inheriting from starts actually making some HTTP requests. So, well, first let's try to create the URL. So it would be equal like self.base URL and plus now we need to use this URL encode, right? So URL encode and self.params, and let's just print our URL to make sure that we did compile this correctly. So, and then we would be updating this parameters dictionary and creating a new URL there. So, okay, you don't need this anymore. Okay, this error is just because we're not crawling anything within the start request method. And here is our URL. So let me just try to grab this and go to the browser and try to paste this in, and I hope to get the JSON response back. Perfect. So this means that the URL has been generated correctly. So here I can say like generate API URL. Okay, and now we actually need to make initial HTTP request. So here we need to say yield and scrapy dot request and a bunch of parameters. So the very first one would be the URL, that would be equal the URL. So this URL is the keyword argument, and this URL is the variable that we're using here. And I'm not going to specify any headers, right? So I just need to provide the callback function here, and let's call this self.parse. Let's call this parse page, basically this like. So here we provide the parse page callback method. Okay, so def parse page would take the self instance followed by the response object, and here we can print, and let's say JSON. Well, first let's actually try to make use of store our data here. So well, let's actually first try to print the response.text to actually to make sure that we do make the successful HTTP request. Okay, here is our data, perfect. So now we need to store this data. I don't know how to call this, so let's call this JSON data would be equal JSON.loads and response.text. So what we're doing here we actually want to parse JSON response to Python dictionary data type. Okay, and now we can use this JSON data as a dictionary. So let's say well, actually now we need to update our parameters. So let's first try to print, say, JSON data, and what so how is this called actually? Token and dist. So let's try to get those. So token and JSON data and dist. Save. So let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, my internet is very laggy today. Unfortunately I can't do anything to this, so okay, let me just pause the video. Hold on. Okay guys, I will now try to use another source for my internet, but by that time we did extract our token and the dist. So this means that from now on we can actually update string query parameters. So we can say self.params, and after this one, after would be equal to JSON data token, copy and paste, and actually self.params and dist, right, would be equal to JSON data dist. And from now on we would be making a new recursive call using this updated stuff. So okay, I'm just wondering, I'm not sure why my internet is not actually working there. It has to, basically. So I'm just using my smartphone now because like my router is a bit too far and I can't bring closer. Okay, so but before actually making this recursive calls, we also need to extract post URLs. So let's call this post URLs. Well, hold on. First let me just try to print JSON data and I guess posts, right? And then okay, So what about my... Okay, now internet should be working better. I'm sorry for these issues, guys. I'm extremely short of time nowadays, so okay, we're done there. Okay, so hold my breath, and I hope the internet work actually. Okay, so here are our posts. So this post. So we need to loop over all the elements and then to reference every dictionary as well. So let's actually try to say. So well, before all this extracting posts. So loop over posts. Okay, for post in JSON data posts, right? And it's a bit tricky here. So if I just try to print the post, it would be given the key for a given post, and then we would be using those keys in order to actually reference the data for every single post. So I need to say like JSON post and reference the post. So in this case it should give me the data instead of the bare keys name, right? Okay, and now within this data we need the permalink, which is the post details URL. Okay. Yeah, and here is the list of our permalinks. So if I just try to grab one and copy and then try to paste this somewhere, it should give me a valid URL. Yeah, perfect. So from here we can already kind of just try to scrape something just as a proof of concept, basically. So perfect. And permalink. So let's call this post URL would be equal to this sort of a stuff paste. So here we actually extract post URL. We don't need this anymore, right? And as far as we did extract our post URL, we can actually make HTTP request to the given post URL. So I want to yield, here we can say response.follow instead of SCRAPY request, response follow, and again the URL, this time this would be equal to post URL and callback. And now we need to create a method called self and parse post. Okay, so not parse the page but parse the post. Okay, so for now on, for now we would be we'll try to extract the data from the single kind of post. And also let me just try to break here to avoid torturing the site during the debugging process. So parse post callback method here. Okay, and def parse post, and again the self instance followed by the response object. Okay, so I'm just wondering, yeah, so extract post data. So let's create the features dictionary and let's actually try to print JSON dumps and features. No, it's a variable, and indentation equals to 2 spaces. Okay, so here we would provide our what are we supposed to look through title, and yeah, probably I will now use SCRAPY shell in order to debug the selectors. I guess this can be nice idea, so let's copy this SCRAPY shell. So let's fetch this URL here, and I just want to try to inspect this value. I just want to quickly provide a couple of selectors just as a proof of concept, basically. So this class seems to be generated dynamically, so I can't give you a warranty that this would work at the time when you would be testing this. So make sure that the classes actually match respectively. So let's try response CSS, and what is this? H1. Okay. H1 with a class equals to this stuff, and text get. Okay, so perfect. First selector should work now, so paste. Now what else can we take from here? And so well, let's call this one description actually, right? And all the other guys would be like posts, I guess. So again, like, it's not a data extraction tutorial, it's more like a infinite scroll handling tutorial. So if I just specify a different class here, and also would be the p tag. Okay, so let's grab this selector as well, and the very last thing I want to have a look at would be so this sort of the posts. So are they all different or copy? Well, let me try to find that out basically. So let's get all now and change the class. Okay, seems like, yeah, they are different. So let's consider this sort of selector to reference the posts or comments. It's better to call this commentaries. So paste, save, and yeah, now we don't need this anymore. So I just want to make sure that the data is getting scraped correctly, and if it is, the very last thing to consider would be to, okay, title, description, commentaries. Yeah, perfect. And yeah, probably I would even be storing this to, I will use JSON line format here just for simplicity basically. So, and for speed as well. So write JSON L output. I'm using JSON line format just because commentaries have some nested data, and it would be more readable to have this within the JSON line format. So JSON line is a JSON object separated by the new line, for those of you who don't know this. So let's say with open and I don't know, posts dot JSON-L, and we want to append to the file stream as file and say f.write and features. Well, actually we can call this post. Features name, variable name comes from my realistic properties projects basically. So let's call this post actually. Post and plus the new line. Okay. And now let me just try to get rid of this break statement just for a while. I will get back to this quite pretty soon. Okay. Okay, I'm just wondering why. So it didn't even print anything. So hold on a sec. What's the error? Oh, string and dictionary. Yeah, sure. Sorry. So I need to see JSON dot dumps and post indentation equals to 2 spaces. This converts the dictionary to a string basically. Okay. And this already should have given me something, not yet. Oh my god. Indentation save. Oh, these typos are driving me crazy, really. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now we got this title, description. It's not available all along the way, but somewhere it is available. So that's the data from the only kind of page or portion, call this however you want. So now we need actually to handle the infinite scroll. So yeah, we're done here. Perfect. So let's bring our break back and let's delete this one. So now now just for the debugging purposes, we would be writing only the first element from every next infinite scroll page iteration. So just to save the time basically, and then I will get rid of this break statement, so we would be able to write the entire data set. Okay, so here we need to make a recursive call. So let me just try to print okay, let me try to print this like URL. So copy, and no, not here, here, and next page, and the URL. So I just want to make sure that it is actually crawlable. Okay, so next page here, copy and paste. Okay, seems like it works. And as far as it does actually work. We can say like make recursive to the next infinite scroll page. Save. Okay, now hold my breath and okay, let me just try to delete this file again. So okay, it's nothing here. So now the number of posts within this file would be equal to the number of pages crawled, well, at least in theory. So let's actually try to figure this out, if it works, if it does crawl recursively. Okay, so yeah, it seems like. Okay, now update, so we're crawling through the next pages. Perfect. Okay, pause, and as far as this seems to work, now the very last thing left here is actually to get rid of this break statement. And the only thing I don't know, to be honest, is actually, is this gonna stop ever or not, because we kind of crawl in this recursively infinite number of times, like the infinite scroll basically. So I'm not sure how this is supposed to be stopped. Well, but I leave this for you guys as an exercise, and if you crawl this to the very end one day, please let me know in the commentaries what would be the behavior. So either the scraper crashes or something. So now let me also provide some debugging information. So here I'm not counting the pages, you know, like probably I won't be providing any counter. I will just simply say print and let's call this like scrolling page, and next URL, and let's take this URL here. Okay, again, get rid of these posts, so no break statements. Okay, okay, no break statements, perfect. Okay, so let's run this and see what happens. So yeah, this is a scrolling page. So just to make it a bit more visual, more readable, so let's add a couple of new lines. Just like, also the data set seems to be pretty nice. Okay, let's just drop it one last time, I hope. And let's go again. So yeah, as far as it's going asynchronously, I guess it's making this scroll page request before crawling through the permalinks, which are the post detail URLs, but still it seems like okay guys, so yeah, obviously I see what's wrong here, so we can't see the URL. So as far as we would be able to see the URL, well, but nevertheless the data set already seems to be quite pretty impressive. So let's actually delete this again, and you could have had the counter, the page counter here. I just don't really want to waste time for that, so now we will be printing the URL along the way, so to make sure that we're scraping the permalinks from the different kind of URLs. Okay, and one more thing to add here, so scrolling page, and let's also print here at the very beginning here actually, so post in posts, permalink, post URL. So yeah, let's actually also try to print this post URL to see the list of all the available URLs within the every single page we are crawling through. Okay, and this is it basically, right? So here is, okay, yeah, it goes asynchronously, so we're getting this next page not really at the time, but still we have the list of the URLs has been crawled for every single page, and they all are different, which means that it works. So I'm sorry, I stopped the recording. I wanted to stop the scraper. Okay guys, this is it for this video, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this and learned something interesting out of it regarding how to scrape the infinite scroll pages on reddit.com. So I wish you all the best, thanks for watching, until the next time, and take care.